Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering Action Comics issue 1052 by Jason Aaron. We have Batman 143 by Chip Zdarsky, and last but not least we have Blue Beetle issue 6. So I'll now get things organised for the first one that will be reviewed. So as we move into the first one, written by Jason Aaron, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which things definitely go bizarro in this world, in this story, to which Superman has to seek help from an unlikely ally. So for this I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we can see, due to what Bizarro has done with his last encounter with Superman, well, the whole of Metropolis has gone Bizarro World. And of course we see quite a number of things happening, from what's happening in the streets to what's happening in the surgeries. Next, let's move towards the middle of the story. And as we start to move towards the middle of the story, we definitely catch up once again with Superman, to which he is now seen as a villain in his own world, care of Bizarro, and also what he did by using magic. So definitely very clever in regards to how Bizarro has been used against Superman. And last but not least, Superman seeking the help of a sane, that's right, a sane Bizarro Joker in Gotham. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Were there any comic references to any of the previous issues? None at all. Next is we have the area of time, to which we have weeks earlier and also back to now, using a bit of Bizarro reference there. Next is the area of the locations. We have Metropolis and the airport in Metropolis. We also have Gotham being visited. The cast of characters consisting of Clark Kent, Superman, Lois Lane, of course Bizarro, wherever he's been hiding, Batman. We also see John Constantine make an appearance, Blue Devil make an appearance, and of course Bizarro Joker. I must admit, for second issue, Jason Aaron, you've done really well. Don't mess this up when you get to the third part of this story. So I'm going to give this the same rating as it got last time, which is a 7.5. Who knows, this could easily drop the ball once it gets to the next part of the story and be absolutely crap. To be honest, I've not really enjoyed a lot of Jason Aaron storytelling, but if I were to guess, DC gave him strict instructions not to do anything to destroy Superman's main character. And providing that is correct, that might also explain why we have this particularly rarity of a good story from him. Now it's time to move into Batman issue 143 by Chip Zdarsky. So as we move into Batman issue 143, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, but the overall cover rating I give it is a 6.5 out of 10. If I were to say one thing, this story is losing its chops. It really is. It's losing its chops. So next thing is, let's have a look at the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. from the beginning, middle, and end. And as we start to move into the beginning of the story, we have a bit of a flashback of sorts, and we get to see some things happening in regards to the Joker and also Batman, and also some of the people who they've encountered. As we advance a little bit further into the story, we have someone teaching the Joker about, I guess, possession, or a type of, I guess, self-possession. Really bloody stupid. Really destroys the story here. You should have just left the Joker alone, because if you're doing the Joker, you must be really sucking at something really bad. And last but not least, towards the end, to which the Joker betrays someone that he meets, as always. So for the internal art, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. Considering how far we are comic book issue-wise, did we get any references to any particular comics? To which we get Batman the Knight. The Thing is meant to be considered sort of like an Elseworld story of sorts, and I think it should remain an Elseworld story and not remain canon. Next is the area of time. Considering this story does flip between past and present, one thing that it doesn't really do is address when time of events are taking place, whether it's something that's in the future. Yes, it might show images in regards to things that are happening in the future, but in the process, it doesn't state when they are actually happening in the future. Like, could it be 20 years ahead, 30 years ahead? It's something that would actually make this story better, and it would make a little bit more sense in regards to this Batman Joker story. Next is the location, being, of course, Gotham. And, of course, last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Batman, Bruce Wayne Batman, Joker, Alfred. Yes, we do see some members of the Bat family. We see Gordon, and last but not least, Catwoman. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 6 out of 10. This is going out, but not with a bang, but more so with a whimper. So, last but not least, we move into Blue Scarab, issue 6. Even though it says Blue Beetle, I'm calling it Blue Scarab. Screw this crap of calling Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. Let's call him Blue Scarab instead. Seeing that there are multiple coloured scarabs now within this universe, and also looking at their origins of where they're coming from, and also more of that as well. So jumping into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? In some essence, yes, to which I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with some of the characters, as we have to look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as we start to move into the beginning of the story, we have a blood scarab that is going to a particular location. We, of course, meet up with the blue and yellow scarab, along with the green scarab, who is helping out with Jaime. We, of course, have the appearance of Starfire. So as the story advances, they, of course, get themselves in a bit of a predicament and basically slowly need to move into using lethal force of sorts, or at least try to avoid using lethal force. Until, last but not least, we do get to catch up with Starfire again. But whilst this has occurred, Jaime Reyes, with the Blue Scarab, has had the Blue Scarab go into lethal force, and he now has some consequences to deal with. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Location, where this is taking place? None at all. Could you at least be bloody decent in this? Because you're gonna lose points. Next, you do give us one thing, and that is the cast of characters. Jaime Reyes, the Blue Scarab. We, of course, have the Blood Scarab with Javier. We have the Green Scarab, the Yellow Scarab. We, of course, have Starfire and Kaji, who is the main Scarab. And that's about all. For the overall story rating in this, it's a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.